Hey, Steps.
Stepsters.
I'm Lasya.
And I'm Kritika, and we're your trainers from Future Steps.
Today we'll be looking at surface volume, surface area, and volumes for 3D shapes.
Okay, so let's get started. Before we get started, we all have already probably met Mr. Nonchalant, and this guy has been great, and he's been with us since forever. So, applause to this guy, okay? And now, this guy seems pretty confused, right? But that's not what you're gonna be like. You're gonna be like this guy. This guy is known as the dancing man of math. Or at least that's what we're gonna call him. So let's get started with our ninja cat. Okay, so we have our ninja cat. Whatever you guys want to name it, comment down in this. Just comment down whatever names you have for this ninja cat right here, because I have no names for the ninja cat, sadly. But you guys get an opportunity to name it, so we'll use it in our other videos. So before we get into the questions, let me just zoom into the. Okay, so let's just talk about this formula sheet. So here we have our area, surface area, and volume, but let's focus only on our surface area and volume. If you want to know more about area, you guys can go and watch our area and perimeters video. That video will explain our area and perimeter very well. So this video is mainly focused on surface area and volume. So let's get started. Now, let's look at surface area. This thing gives us a nice definition which says the measure of the area of all outward facing sides is called the surface area. And the unit of this is basically whatever the unit is squared. So the same unit as area basically, right? Because it's just the sum of all the areas. And then the volume is the measure of how many cubes will fit into a shape. And for this, our unit is going to be units cubed. So this time it's a little different, right? And we'll be explaining how that works later on too. So we have our formula sheet with our different surface areas. So I know it looks a little funny when it says ba plus la, okay? So don't focus on that. Let's make it easier for you guys. Basically, if we have an object that looks okay, I forgot that my pen wouldn't work on this. Okay. So if we had, let's say, a rectangular prism that looks like this, okay. We're gonna say I have good drawing skills for now. That does not look like a rectangular prism. I do not have good drawing skills. Don't question. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do for this is we know that the prism is going to have a bunch of sides, right? In which, let's say we have this side, okay? But we also have another side opposite to this which has the same length and width. So every time we are trying to find the surface area of something like this, it would look somewhat like, wait, yeah. It should be surface area equals 2 times, let's say this is our, let's call this side B, this side H, and this side W. Okay, that is not right according to. Okay, let's call it something that makes it simpler for you guys to understand. So let's call this our width, this our length, and this our height. Okay. So every time you're trying to find surface area of something like this, all you're gonna do is, we know this is our width and this is our length, so 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2, okay, plus 2 times the 2 that we didn't multiply yet was width and height. So you can look at it like that. And this is going to be the surface area of our rectangular prism. Okay, that's just because we have two copies of the same side kind of thing. So if we have this side, we also have this exact length and width on the opposite of this side. And the same goes for all the other sides too. So this side and this side are equal, and then this side and whichever one is on this side is going to be the same. That is why it's 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. And that's just going to be the surface area. And then the volume is just going to be all of these multiplied. So that will be width, height, length, or length with height. And all of these others are also pretty good. The ones that are really common are going to be our cube. Our This sort of a prism is not what we really call rectangular prism, but it does have all of its sides as the same rectangle. That is why we've given a rectangle here. You are likely to see this, but the most common one here would probably be the cylinder, a sphere, a pyramid, a rectangle, and just okay, so squares are pretty simple, so they don't show up as much, which you're probably gonna be like, isn't it easy? Shouldn't it show up more? Which is not how it works. So we like complicated things, but things aren't always, they look complicated, but they're pretty simple. So here the most common ones would be our pyramid, our cylinder, our sphere, and just our prisms in general. Okay, so now let's get into some of our questions.
Yeah. Now that we looked at like the concepts of it, let's apply them through questions. So for the first question, we needed to find surface area of this rectangular prism. So hold on. There we go. So we know the formula is SA equals 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. So let's say this is length, this is width, and this is the height, right? So your surface area, you're just going to plug in these numbers into the formula. That's it. There's going to be 2 times, this is going to take a while because I'm not that fast at like writing this, but 2 times length is 3, and then we have width, and that's 7. So that, right? Close bracket, and then you add 2 times, at this point, it's 2 times length times height. So we have 3 times 5, right? And the other two, which we didn't multiply together yet, are the width and the height. So you add that to the last one. So it's 2 times 7 times 5. And your answer is going to be 142. So 142. And since they didn't give us any like measurements here, like meters, centimeters, or anything, you can just leave it like that. But if they, let's say they give us all these units in meters, you gotta put meters squared because it's surface area. But if they, since they didn't give us any units for now, it's okay. But if they do, let's say they give you meters, it's meters squared, centimeters squared, anything squared. Now let's go on to the next question.
Okay, so we're gonna do our second surface area question. Same logic as Lassie just said. Let's call, okay, I'm gonna write on my other device so it's easier for me to write. And so that's easier for you guys to read because I'm not good at writing on my laptop. So like Glacia said, let's do this. Let's call this our length, our width, and our height. And we're going to use the same formula as we have been using. Surface area equals, oh wow, look at that difference in handwriting. Beautiful. 2 times our length, which is going to be 2, times our width, which is 7, plus 2 times our length, which is 2, times our height, which is in this case, 8. Am I right? Yes. Plus 2 times, the only 2 that we didn't multiply yet is 7 times 8, which should give us 172. And like Lassia said, if we were given units, we would have to write that unit squared. So let's say this was given in feet, because we haven't used feet. We're gonna say 172 feet squared, or square feet. Say they're the same thing. People usually say square feet, but if you're writing in math, you might want to write something like this. So that's our answer for our second surface area question. Now let's move on to our third question.
Yep, and these are the volume questions, and these are much easier than surface area questions because the formula for surface area is really long, right? But for the volume is just length times width times height. So in this case, we have a length, width, and height. So it's just 5 times 8 times 7, which should be 280. And remember your units, like before, they didn't give us any units here, but if they do, let's take inches for this case just as an example. You put any unit, in this case inches, cubed, because you're voluming them, so you're multiplying 3 sides together. So you're multiplying 3 of these units together, so it's going to be cubed this time. Let's move on to the next question.
Now same idea. Volume is probably my favorite thing because all you have to do is multiply all the side lengths. So if this was our length, our width, and our height, that would just be, okay, then volume would just be length with height, which is 4 times 5 times 1, which should give us 20, right? And let's take centimeters as our unit for this one. See, in normal questions, you wouldn't be assuming the unit. So if we were given centimeters for this one, then we would write this as centimeter cubed. But if you aren't given any units at all, you're just going to leave it as the number itself. But if you are given the units, you have to make sure that your answer has the units too. It's a pretty important part of the entire thing. Now, that is all we had for you today. So, guys, please comment down your name for Mr. Cat or Ninja Cat. And our Mr. Nonchalant is still questioning us, but he's happy. So, hope you guys enjoy this video. Remember these formulas, especially for the rectangular prism, because that is pretty important. And you can always go back in the video and look at our formula sheet, and you should definitely continue practicing, doing more questions. So just go to Google and go surface area questions for my grade, and it's going to give you a bunch of questions. Those questions are really important, and they're also, if you search it up for your specific grade, it's going to give you the specific questions for that you are probably doing right now. So you can do those. If you have any questions about those too, you can definitely comment down below, or you can reach out to us. Anyways, fine with us. We do look at our comments, and if your question is pretty complicated and we don't understand it, we might just comment down. Email us at this. So we definitely reply to your comments. Don't worry. And that is all we have for you today. Continue practicing, keep working, go back in the video if you're confused, and definitely ask questions. Don't be shy, just go for it.
Yep.
That's the way of learning. Asking questions, getting answers, asking more questions and getting more answers. And that's how we learn too. So definitely a good thing to do. So I hope you enjoy this video. See you in our next video then. Goodbye.
Bye, Dubsters.